Kevin Kenny live in New York City for the Build series, and our guest today just announced they have a brand new album coming your way at the top of next year entitled No One Else Can Wear Your Crown, and a world tour to boot. Please let's make some noise for Oh Wonder. Anthony, Josephine, welcome back to Build.
Thanks
Good
for
to
having
have
us.
you. Yes. It's exciting times. You just announced the world tour and the album.
Yeah,
Does
and
it
a new
feel
song.
like,
It's Christmas.
and the new song, exactly. It's sent to our side actually right now. This is the new as of today if you're watching us live. With such a lead up, what does it feel like now to just for everything to almost be out already? You know what I mean?
Stressful.
All at once. Does it feel stressful?
No, it's good. We're up at 4 a.m. because everything's coming out UK time.
Right.
So this morning we were in New York and we got up at 4 a.m. and made it all happen.
Yeah.
In a way.
Also, I feel like it's Christmas come early. I couldn't sleep. I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
So he's stressed out. You're jumping for joy.
But I'm buzzing though. I feel like I've had 10 coffees. It's so exciting releasing music. It's the best bit of like being in a band is releasing music.
Is it?
Well, that's why you start out making music is to make it and release it. Like that's your whole objective, right? And all the stuff that comes with it is not planned or
a bonus.
Yeah, that's a bonus. Like making music videos is a bonus. Like,
well, let me ask you this, because we had a rock band on last week called Bad Flower, and they were saying, you know, the oftentimes cliche analogy is that when you put out a body of work or a record or a single, it feels like you're giving birth. But they were actually saying it doesn't feel like that. It feels like that when you finish the record, and then when you put something out, it's almost like, you know, your kid going off to college.
Yeah.
Now it's like the world.
Yeah, yeah.
And I kind of loved it, but how does it feel for you guys? Does it feel like you've birthed a song once it's done or once we hear it?
yeah.
It can often be a very painful, slow birth. I think a lot of the
Please, in detail, describe.
time. Some songs take a while, like some to come to life. Some are like instant, and you can make a song, and it's like pretty much how it sounds on a record within like 1 or 2 days. But some take a while, and they take a while to show their heads, I guess.
Oh my God!
It's a metaphor,
He likes the
guys.
birthing analogy.
It's a metaphor.
The imagery.
Yeah, for me, it's when it's out because a song it doesn't mean anything without someone listening to it, right? For me, anyway. So even if I write a song and record a song and finish completely producing and mastering and mixing a song, it's still one half of the conversation. So for someone to listen to it and go, "Oh, I've listened to that and either enjoyed it or not." It's a two-way conversation for me, music. It needs a listener.
I love that as a music fan, because I know a lot of times artists will say that there's two identities to a song. It's the identity that they have for it, and then it's the identity that the public sort of assumes on it. But it sounds like for you, it's a shared identity.
Yes, a lot of times though it doesn't. Like I've seen a lot of comments of people being like, "Oh, this song means so much to me, and these lyrics mean this," and I'm literally like, "No, they don't." But like you do you, because it's not my song anymore.
Yeah, everyone
it's our
finds their
song.
own meaning in a song.
Yeah.
And I think my favorite songs probably have nothing to do with what the actual song is about.
Your
The meaning,
interpretation of it,
the meaning it has for me is totally different. So
Well, Anthony, you were saying some songs come about pretty quickly, others take a long time. Is that ever indicative of the quality of a song, or is just every song a different story?
I don't know. It does feel good when like a song kind of just drops out the sky.
Yeah.
Sometimes when we always write at a piano, and if a sign of a really good song for us, melody, lyrics wise, is when you don't realize you've even written a thing. It's just like it just happens. You're like, wow, that was easy. Let's have some lunch. And then, yeah, some ones take a lot more energy, right?
Yeah, I think all the ones that are on this album are ones that took, I don't know, like 10 minutes to write.
Really?
Yeah, I think
very
so.
quick.
Yeah.
In terms of editing the album, there's only 10 tracks. I say only, but 10, that's great. We're
No,
excited
it's
for it.
concise.
But was there a big editing process, or was this just the 10 you went in with?
No, we wrote like 50 songs.
50?
Yeah.
But we always knew it would be this 10. We were just like, I don't know, just making sure the barrel was completely dry, you know?
Is there anything artistic about the number 10 or it being concise, or why did you always know it would be 10?
Because I think we'd written a couple more songs that we really loved, but just maybe didn't fit with the theme of this album or the kind of the sonics of it. So we'll definitely still release them, maybe just as singles soon. In fact, we have another song that's not on the album coming out in a couple weeks. Just for fun.
Nice.
Just to confuse things.
Yeah. What kind of song is that? Is that almost...
Oh, dude.
It's a Christmas
Christmas
song.
I was going to say, is it a holiday song?
Yeah, it is.
But it's like the saddest Christmas song you've ever heard in your life. Oh my God, it's so sad.
Is this a cover, or is this an
No.
original
No, it's an
song?
original.
So sad. I'm welling up. It's
We
so
basically
sad.
were writing a sad song. We're like, if we put the word Christmas in here, then we have a sad Christmas
We could make
song.
everyone so sad during the holidays.
We can bring down everyone's Christmas. So
called
that's
the
gonna be
Grinch.
exciting.
I'm curious, where was that born out of? Was it are
The
the
Christmas song.
yeah, or the for some people the holidays are kind of a sad time.
That's what it came out of, yeah. So when I was at university or college, as you guys call it, I accosted, that makes me sound really creepy. I befriended.
You made a friend.
I think that's
I made a
illegal.
friend. Yeah. I made a friend out of this guy called Piers, who's awesome. He was in his early 60s at the time. And
It's a real guy.
A real guy.
Oh, okay. So when you said made, okay, go.
No, like I didn't get an imaginary
I
friend.
thought you made it. I thought you said something about making him up, and I was like,
And I called my
okay.
mom. I was like, "Mom, I made a friend.
Yeah.
He's imaginary."
Yeah. I can make up a friend. It would be a 60-year-old man named Piers.
Yeah.
No.
No, so I made a real life friend who was a musician. I was doing English literature, and he had this studio at the end of his garden. I used to go around to his house and like make music, and he was kind of my retreat, I guess, my solace. It was amazing. And he had a son who was my age, who was 20 at the time, who really tragically passed away. Like he got meningitis, and within 24 hours he wasn't on the planet anymore. It's just insane. I don't know how you process that as a parent. It was his only kid. And it happened around Christmas, so therefore Christmas for my friend and his wife is just like so traumatic, because I remember wishing him a happy Christmas one time, and he was like, "Thanks, but like we actually try and take ourselves out of the world for this period because it's just too painful." Everyone's like, "Yay, Christmas, family time," and he's like, "It's like too traumatic." So we wrote him this song. We were trying to work out like what angle to approach Christmas from, and we were like, maybe we shouldn't kind of celebrate the joy. It's a joyful time because everybody gets to sit down and eat, right? But also it can be a really painful reminder for people. So we wrote it, and it doesn't need to apply to that. It could be like your partner's away, or your best friend's just moved, or you've just moved away from your family, but that sentiment of like wishing that you had somebody with you to comfort you is kind of the sentiment of the song. So.
That's beautiful. And
Yeah.
is Pierre still with us? Can he,
I sent it to him. He was on holiday. I ruined his holiday. He was on holiday in Greece with his wife, and I sent it to him, and he just texted me back, being like, "We're just sobbing on a beach in Greece." Like, thanks.
Thank you so much.
Damn, sorry.
Yeah. Well, that's great. And they'll be out before the holidays, next couple weeks. That's exciting.
Yeah.
The decision, I'm always fascinated when a group takes, deserved time off, and there's maybe a year or two between releases. The decision behind leading with a particular song. Now, Hallelujah, of course, fantastic song. But did you give a lot of thought to what did you want the proverbial hello to be for this album?
It's always quite a hard decision.
Yeah.
I think for us, that song's a bit of a curveball compared to the rest of the record. So I think we wanted to come out and make a statement. And we'd both been kind of figuring out, because we'd had a year off, figuring out ourselves a lot whilst we were at home. And I think that song for us was a big statement of just like being super comfortable with ourselves and as musicians and just as people. So yeah, I think it definitely summed up what we were trying to say with the record.
Right on. Yeah, it's important. I mean, self-acceptance, individuality, which will play into the title once we get to that of the record. Were those things that you two personally struggled with coming up as artists or as people? Is the idea of self-acceptance?
Yeah, I think as musicians, we still constantly doubt ourselves.
Do you think it was because you were musicians, or do you think it was the people you were, and maybe that's even what drew you to music?
Probably exactly that.
I also think that's a very universal feeling, though. I think
Right.
no one in the world feels accepted by the world. Even as a woman, I don't always feel accepted just as a woman, let alone all the other minorities, or like, I don't know, like there's so many things in the world that don't fit the normal box.
Right.
So I don't know, especially like I'm in my late 20s, and it's kind of a really pivotal point, I think, when you've worked out who you are and you're kind of getting to grips with the fact that you can't really change who you are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm kind of set now in what I look like and what I talk like and what I believe, and I'm quite, I don't know, I'm rigid, I guess, in a quite empowering way. Like it doesn't have to be bad that you don't change. What am I trying to say? Like I've realized that I have to accept myself in all my warts and all glory. Otherwise, I'm going to spend the rest of my life trying to change myself, and that's exhausting.
Well, you can also fall in love with the evolution of yourself and your current
absolutely.
state. You know what I mean? I think especially as young people, when you're coming up, we're also aspirational. Like we want to get out of the house, we want to get out of college, we want to get a job, and it's like you can lose an appreciation for the present and who you are right now. You know what I mean? But it sounds like you have that.
Only recently, though.
Yeah.
Damn, I used to like look at myself in the mirror and be like, ugh, you're disgusting and you're crap and all these things. And that sucks. Like I'm sure loads of people wake up, not every day, but most days. Like, and now I'm like, I look in the mirror and I'm like, damn, I'm great. Like, not in an arrogant way, just in like I finally worked out how to love myself.
That's awesome.
Which is great. So.
Right.
Hence
Awesome.
the album.
Yeah. Do you find yourself now? You talk about being like a bit rigid there, but in a good way. Do you try to seek out new experiences as artists now in your later 20s of to kind of make sure you continue to keep exploring?
Yeah, I think musically we try to push ourselves a lot. We tour a lot. We probably spend 90% of our time touring, which is really cool. We get to see a lot of the world, but of course, there's quite a routine to touring. Within a day, it's kind of set and it's kind of rigid in a sense, isn't it? You have your sound check time, you have your press time, then you're on stage. So you have to really work hard to still explore the world and explore yourself and still be curious.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
But we value that massively.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure that informs, just because you are so well traveled, the appreciation for individuality, right? You see crowds all over the world.
And that's really interesting, is that we see crowds all over the world, and people come from like the most crazy different cultures and backgrounds, and yet actually everybody's the same. It's like a really humbling thing.
In the best ways, they're the same.
In the most magnificent way, like at a show, it's just pure community vibes. It's like you can be anyone, come from anywhere. We're all just experiencing live music together, and that's so grounding and really humbling. Like that's my favorite lesson I've learned being in a band, is that actually we're all just trying to achieve the same thing, which is like be better people, be kinder to each other, focus on the community, focus on making the world a better place, leaving our stamp on it. Like actually all humans generally want that.
Right. Which is the great irony in anxiety, right? Is because we're always, oh my God, I hope no one makes fun of my outfit. I hope no one makes fun of my voice. But it's like, no one wants to get made fun of. We all just want to be accepted. So it's like, and the same thing with individuality, right? It's like, how long when we're kids or even young people, you grow up and you try to be like everyone else. But the worst kind of people are people that are like everybody else. You know what I mean? So it's like the very things we fear, we also, secretly want. It's
God, this
fun.
got really deep, isn't it?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I love it. I'm here for this. I'm here.
Stick to tour dates.
No.
But no, speaking of the music, I do want to move along, because you've been very generous in the lead up to the new album. And the second song you gave us was Better Now. And that song was written from a deeply personal place.
Oh, God, yeah. God, they're all like really deep, personal, sad stories, all of these songs.
I'm prepping them for the Christmas single.
Oh, thanks, man. Just getting them real deep in the feels.
Bring the room down.
Better Now is a song about my cousin that had a baby, and there were like some real complications with the birth, and she didn't come out breathing for like 15 minutes, and it was just very traumatic and very distressing. And so we wrote a song about what it would feel like to be on the other side of a waiting room to the person that you love the most, i.e. your wife and your baby, and being literally unable to do anything and unable to help, which is just, I can't even imagine that.
It was really cool because we were actually writing it whilst your cousin was experiencing it. So we text him, we record everything on our phones when we're initially writing it, and we sent him the voice clip of us just writing that song. We wrote that one super quickly, and it was our response to what he was going through, and you could tell it connected with him so much.
Yeah,
it was
he
such
like,
a...
I'm playing it to my baby. And she's turned out great. Like she's super healthy and happy and wonderful baby. But so he was like there in the hospital listening to it. And I guess that's when you're a musician, that's the way you help, right? You write a song. So that's what we've seemingly been doing for people, is writing them songs.
But also helping yourself, no?
Oh,
I mean, I'm
100%.
sure you're
So
working
much stuff
through understanding that, incredibly complex emotional situation through the songwriting.
Oh yeah, 100%.
absolutely.
Yeah. Talk about the song that just came out today. This is called I Wish I Never Met You. This is hours old. Why are you laughing about this one?
Because it's about me.
Oh, yeah? Wait, is it you, like, talking about you?
Me talking about
That
all
would be
my,
brutal.
all my
Yeah,
cheat.
I know,
yeah.
right?
God,
I
that
wish I never met myself. Just don't look in the mirror.
no, it's about all my cheating ex-boyfriends, little scumbags.
Yeah.
No,
Calm
Same
down,
names.
no
Kristen,
resentment
calm
or bit.
First and last names to this
over it.
camera.
No, it's just about all the guys I've ever dated that cheated on me, which is basically everybody except Anthony. So win.
I'm not an ex-boyfriend. We're just...
You're just still here. They all cheated on me and left me with like mad trust issues. So then I was like, how do I get this out of me? I'll write a song about it. Right. So it's called I Wish I Never Met You.
So you're the opposite of Ariana Grande. She's so grateful for her ex. You're just like, not at all.
There's a personality difference right there.
Exactly. So that's cool. So it's an exploration of those feelings. So that's kind of how you feel. Is there any gratitude that like, well, thank God that's over?
Oh, thank God it's over. Yeah, they gave me nothing.
Right.
I've just realised I've got to sing this on stage every night as well to your ex-boyfriend. This is going to get awkward very quickly.
Anthony has a song on the record about his ex-girlfriend, though.
Do you actually?
I do.
Oh, no
But
way.
mine is way more positive.
Because he's so mature.
The song is, well, the chorus is, what is the chorus?
Never thought.
Never thought I'd be happy to see you with somebody new. So it's basically, I'm so it was the day she got married, my ex-girlfriend. I
Now
was
they're
like,
their problem.
yeah, exactly.
I'm just kidding.
No, it was the day she got married. I was like, wow, I feel really good about this, and so happy that you found someone that's evidently better than me, which is great.
That's so mature.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Wow. That's really nice.
Oh God.
But that's a healthy relationship. I mean, that you're able to not only talk about your exes, but then write songs about them. Typically, it's,
Yeah.
don't talk about the exes.
Yeah, that's
you know?
true. That's true.
You know, that's good.
That's true.
The world tour. This sounds massive. I was getting exhausted just reading all the days. You guys have to perform in all these great cities. You're doing King's Theater here in Brooklyn next year.
Which seems to be like the best venue ever. We keep
It's
telling people,
beautiful.
and everyone's like,
Has anybody been to King's?
King's Theatre?
Yeah.
You have? Is
It's
it
really
good?
nice. Yeah.
Oh,
Amazing.
I'm so hyped.
We're well excited.
Really, really cool.
Great.
And then but you're kicking off overseas, I think. You're kicking off in Europe.
Yeah.
Is it around the time? Because the album's out February 7th.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is
So
it?
it'll be March. We'll start UK, Europe.
Okay.
April is US, and then we have like Asian dates to announce. We have Australian dates to announce. We have way more US dates to announce. Way more
Russian
Canada
dates.
dates,
Yeah.
Russian dates, Eastern European dates. They're all coming. We're just drip feeding it because otherwise it would be very overwhelming.
Yeah.
We have a very big poster.
Yeah, pure. Yeah.
Not that you have to know the answer to this question, and not that you even have to care about the answer to the question, but a lot of artists, bands, solo artists, don't have the luxury or the ability to tour all of those different areas of the world, right? Maybe they're huge in certain sections, but you guys can really, the music is so universally beloved. What do you think it is about your music that really speaks to people in every continent imaginable?
Oh, that's really kind.
I think we're just very lucky. I don't know.
Yeah, we're so lucky.
I don't think there's definitely no equation that we've thought about to.
Right.
There's no mastermind behind it. I don't know. There's something that
Is
people
it,
just
is it
connect with.
honesty maybe? Is it a purity?
I mean, I can't compare to other artists because I only know what messages we receive, but the messages we receive seem to be like, you've really hit a nerve with this song.
Right.
It's really helping me through something. And maybe it's because we're also like quite public in the fact that we're experiencing euphoria and joy, but also difficulty and
Right.
the highs and lows of life. We're kind of really keen to document and share those feelings. So maybe it's
Kind
that
of
sense
normalizing all
yeah.
the good and bad stuff.
Yeah, and celebrating it in all
Yeah.
its glory, I guess, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's a good theory. Let's get to some fan questions here in New York City. We have one from the front row.
Oh, hi.
Hey,
I was just wondering what the meaning is behind the song "All We Do."
All we do.
All we
no.
My
do.
favorite.
No one's ever asked us that, and it's not the meaning that you want.
Oh.
I don't think.
that was like one of those songs that fell out the sky.
Yeah.
It was really weird. We were writing at my parents' house in the countryside, and I don't know, we were rushed, right? We had like 20 minutes. I was leaving the house to drop my parents to the airport or something silly. And we were like, oh, let's quickly write a song. And we wrote that whole song in about 15 minutes. And then we went back to it 2 days later. We were like, I don't know what that was, but it works. And for some reason, that's the song that people have really connected with and have found their own meaning in. So
I can
Well,
give
wait.
you a meaning.
Before you do, can you give us what you think the meaning is?
Oh,
Because I'm
no.
curious how they
Because
compare.
someone's got like this is what I mean. Someone's
What?
tattooed. Oh fuck! Someone's sorry, I'm swearing. Someone's tattooed. All I want to be is whites and waves somewhere on their body.
Okay.
As in like
Which is a
that's
lyric.
all I want to be, and I'm like, oh, that's not a good thing to be. For me.
Wait,
Anyway,
don't
you-
spoil it.
You do you. Maybe you have a tattoo of
No.
that. No.
Oh, actually, my best friend and I have talked about this for so long, trying to debate the meaning,
Oh, right.
and we couldn't come up with one. So that's why I was like, oh my gosh, I have to ask.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
But from what I don't know, what I took was like maybe you're hiding away what or who you really want to be, or who,
that's
Yeah.
exactly.
I don't know. But
that's it.
No.
It is. Yeah.
Is it?
Got it in one.
All we do. How's it go? All we do is hide away. All we do is chase the day. So like all you're doing is just existing, and time is
Autopilot.
passing, and you're on autopilot. And the chorus to me, when it says like I've been upside down, to me that's like incredible because you're basically everybody in this room is seeing the world with the ceiling there and the floor there, and this is how the world is. But if you're upside down, you're seeing things from a different perspective, right? And you're living life in your own individual way. So you don't want to be the same way around as everybody else. You want to so it's basically about, doing your own thing, carving your own path, and not just existing, but trying to get out of that monotony. And yeah, sick.
So she got it right.
Well done.
You got it right.
Thank
Amazing.
Stunning.
you.
Thanks for your question.
And the second question, I believe, will come from right here.
So your second album was written in Brooklyn, and then this upcoming album was written in your home. And I'm wondering if there's an extra layer of significance to this new album, and how that affected the process and the meaning it has to you.
Yeah. Great question. Thanks.
I think we definitely like needed to be at home for this album because we've been on tour for basically 4 years at that point, 3 or 4 years. So we were like desperate to have some home time. The album we wrote in New York has definitely a different sound to it because New York for us has a crazy energy compared to London. Like it's London but on steroids. It's amazing. We love it here. But yeah.
Spent like every day like walking around. Like I'd get a bagel and listen to Frank Ocean. I'd be like, yeah, like super hyped. Hence why the album's called Ultra Life because I think we were like dizzy with excitement.
Yeah. Also, we found out bagels cost about $64 here.
Dudes, what's
It's
wrong?
so
with,
expensive here.
we're in the wrong bagel shops, I think.
How much are they in London?
Oh,
Well,
you don't
you
get
can get
bagels.
like
you don't get
12
bagels
for
in
a
London.
pound.
What's like a breakfast in London?
Bacon sandwich.
Yeah,
Basically
bacon.
bagel,
which we call
bro.
a bacon
Like the
sarnie.
same thing. What is it? A bacon sandwich? That's like, yeah, I had one of those on a bagel today.
No, on a bagel. See, we don't have bagels. No,
well,
we-
like
No, we don't do
bread?
ba-
bread. Oh,
Yeah.
you guys do weird bread here, though.
It's just bacon on bread?
Oh, with ketchup and butter. Oh my god.
Wait, is that not a thing here?
You guys don't
Oh,
have bacon
dude, throw
butties?
some like eggs on there.
Right.
No?
No.
No? Ooh.
Soft roll. Oh my god, guys, a soft,
It's what
Bacon?
a soft white roll, like real good fried bacon, like Heinz tomato ketchup, and loads of butter. That's what 90% of Britain live on.
to be fair, that
Better not
does
be more
sound
than
disgusting
$2.
when you drive it like that.
That's insane. All right. Well, on that note, who would have thought we ended there? But we're out of time right now. Guys, the new record, of course, No One Else Can Wear Your Crown, is out everywhere February 7th. And then tickets, this is very important, go on sale for the tour November 22nd, which I don't know what day it is.
Next
but
Friday.
Next Friday. Thank you very much. November 22nd. Guys, thank you so much. Oh, Wonder, everybody.
Thanks for having
Thank
us.
you.
Thank you.